folks. It's Zach at Feel Free to Argue, and wanted to read something to you this morning. First, I want to do a little bit of explaining, though, because I know there are a lot of people out there who watch my channel who probably don't think much of the police. And honestly, generally speaking, I'm right there with them. But like a lot of things in our society, I don't necessarily think that the police are inherently bad. In other words, I think there's a way to have them fulfill their role in society and not be abusive the way that they are now. I know certain people will disagree with me on this, but before you switch off, I would just like to say that the person I'm reading from was Madison, Madison's chief of police from 1972 to 1993. One of my closest friends here is a guy who's a hippie, and he's got an anti-establishment streak a mile wide. And he talks about this police chief with utmost respect as being an example of police enforcement that he could actually live with and be comfortable with. So, and I respect this person's opinion a great deal. He's one of the smartest people I know, and honestly, I take it as a point of personal pride that I read that I've understood at this point three-quarters of the philosophy book that he wrote. That's kind of where I'm coming from. So the guy's name is David Couper, and he's framed this as an open letter to Barack Obama. Dear President-elect Barack Obama, I know you have a lot on your plate: the economy, healthcare, 2 wars. Those are important tasks, but I don't want you and your staff to overlook the reform needed in our nation's criminal justice system. It's been more than 40 years since President Johnson created the last federal commission to look into our justice system and recommend improvements. At the time, I was a beat cop in Minneapolis following a stint in the Marines. I heard that the Commission's report focused on educating police to function in our complex society. I also learned that tuition grants were available for police officers like me who wanted to get a college education. I jumped at the chance, and so did many of my colleagues. We organized a group called the College Cops to pursue the goal of police reform. We realized that too many drunks, thieves, bullies, and incompetents were wearing the same uniform we did. We began to speak out about the need for higher hiring standards. It became clear to us that what we needed to change our responses to civil rights sit-ins and anti-war protests. We looked at our leaders and thought we could do a better job. Over time, some of us got the chance to prove it. In 1972, after I became Madison's chief of police, I implemented the 4-year college degree requirement recommended by Johnson's commission. Our hiring posters proclaimed, "Join the other Peace Corps." I experimented with different policing styles and approaches to crowd control, neighborhood policing, and even instituted a non-military style police uniform. My goal was to re-envision the role of police. I wanted my officers to be vitally connected to and work with the people in the neighborhoods they were privileged to serve. I wanted them to be constitutional officers, defenders of our Bill of Rights, and even community organizers. I left the Madison Police Department in 1993, after more than 20 years as chief. Now, most of the people I brought on board have, like me, retired. I don't see many police leaders with the same commitment to democratic policing and experimentation that we had, and that makes me sad. Much of this owes to that fateful day in September 2001, when fear came down on the nation and its police. When that happened, many of our police leaders forgot about their role in defending the Constitution. In their fear, some willingly engaged in illegal surveillances, went along with free speech zones, and looked the other way when their officers overreacted. Police started doing immigration enforcement work and became faceless paramilitary forces. Billions of Homeland Security dollars have gone to buy military-style equipment for local police departments, not improve the police themselves. We've turned away from community policing and toward the new and ill-defined role of preventing terrorism. For these and other reasons, Mr. President-elect, our nation must again deeply and intensively examine its police, along with other elements of the criminal justice system. Police play a vital role in who we are as a nation. We will not have freedom and justice in our courts unless it is first a working value of our police. Our nation needs men and women who are broadly educated in the liberal arts. They need exposure to history, philosophy, sociology, law, anthropology, psychology, foreign languages, and even art. Far too often, the standard police education curriculum has been designed and taught by cops, in classrooms filled with cops and those who wish to be. This is not education. This is training. And yes, police must also be well trained and well compensated. We will never eliminate corruption in the police ranks solely by imposing external controls and organizing watchdog groups. Instead, it must be done by selecting the best from among us, developing their internal controls, building a strong foundation for ethical and moral behavior, and a commitment to the highest ideals of public service. Sure, police officers need to be crime fighters, but it is not unreasonable to expect that they will also protect our rights, resolve and mediate conflict, and care for us while they enforce the law. We have a right to expect police to be respectful and courteous, well-informed, honest, and sparing in the use of force. This builds the trust police need to function effectively in a democracy such as ours. Well, that's it for today. Hope you all are having a good weekend, and we'll be talking to you again soon. This is Zach Elliott at Feel Free to Argue.